I just filmed a whole intro and I realized my camera was on an effect, and so it was super dark and I couldn't see anything, but we're back, baby, and I am pumped for today because I'm so excited for look number 2 of Halloween month. Bum, bum, bum. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Caitlin. I do makeup. And Halloween is fun because I get to paint my face, and I don't normally do that, so it's super exciting for me. If you are seeing this video, there's already been 1 video posted this year for Halloween and then 3 last year. So why don't you hit that subscribe button, maybe even the like button, maybe even the comment button, and let me know if you enjoyed this, and if you do, go back and watch the other Halloween looks because they're also very fun. With that being said, today we're doing Cruella. And the Cruella movie just came out this year, so I feel like it's fitting. There's probably gonna be a lot of Cruellas. However, I'm not gonna be the Emma Stone Cruella. I feel like I'm gonna pull off more of the classic Disney villain Cruella, with the bright green eyeshadow, the bright red lip, and a little bit of a surprise, if you will. So I feel like without further ado, we should get started. Okay, so to begin today, we have to do our eyes because today it involves glitter, which means if I don't do it first, the glitter will be all over my face. Okay, so I'm actually going to technically start with my Fenty Beauty under eye brightener. I just put an itty bitty amount on my finger, which is still probably going to be too much because this stuff is pigmented. And we are going to put it on our eyes like this. I'm not going to do my under eye concealer yet, but I just wanted to at least get this in the inner corners because if I don't, I won't be able to do it later because I'll have stuff in there, you know? Now we're gonna take our concealer and we're gonna cover up our eyelids because normally that gets done when I do my foundation and concealer first, but today is a new day. We're doing something different to avoid glitter all over our face. Here's a little secret. We're still gonna have glitter all over our face. It truly doesn't matter, but we're trying. We're trying to be good. I could have tapped this in with my finger, but here I am. Beauty blender and all. I also feel like I could have probably plucked my eyebrows for this, but what are you gonna do? So we're just gonna do a nice glam look, and then we're gonna add our little surprise later. So first we're going to do a crazy green eyeshadow look. And I am so excited. Now I need to set that. Today the 2 palettes I'm gonna be dipping into are the e.l.f. XJ Kissa palette, which you cannot purchase anymore. However, Profusion has a lot of colorful palettes. This other palette could probably do it all itself. And then I am going to be using a Glitty's green glitter, which you can purchase on Amazon. So, Morphe X James Charles palette's the other palette, sorry. It has a ton of different colors, like every color under the sun and in the rainbow. It's beautiful. And yeah, so I'm gonna set my eyes first though, because I feel like we need to make sure we're not creasing before we start this craziness. So I'm going to take the bright white shade that is in the palette. Ella has already decided he's going to bed because he said, I know what those lights mean, and it typically means she's not coming to bed anytime soon. And you would be right, buddy boy. The other benefit of doing our eyes first is we can clean our eyes up with a little makeup wipe later, and we don't have to make it perfect on the first try, which is always nice. I'm gonna take this neutral shade right here. You could also just take a bronzer. You truly don't need a giant palette for just this like 1 shade, but we're already using it, so we might as well. So I'm just gonna put that into my crease to kind of start this look. I am going to try and give a nice winged out look. I want a snatched Cruella in my presence, you know? I want her dramatic. I want her snatched. Cruella is gonna be a badass bitch, okay? Okay, then I am very quickly going to take a shade that is maybe 1 or 2 shades deeper. I am actually going to take this shade because the other ones I think are too warm for what I'm doing. This is way at the end here. It is kind of deep, so I'm actually mixing it with the original shade. So I'm putting the darker shade on first and then tapping into the lighter shade to kind of make a little concoction. And then we are going to start putting that into the crease and on the outer corner, just to give us some definition on our eye. If you have a contour palette, you could also just use various depths of shades from a contour palette, like I will be using in a little bit for my face today. So that would give you the same effect. However, like I said, we have the palette, we might as well enjoy it. Okay, I am now going to take this deeper shade and really wing it out, just to make sure we get a nice fun little wing shape. Now what we are going to do, which is the fun part, we're gonna start going in with some greens, okay? I honestly think I'm gonna stick to this Morphe and James Charles palette and not use the Elf and J Kissa unless I need something even deeper, because the green in here I think will be fine. It's just if I need a deeper green, I might dip into the dark shade in that palette. So I'm actually going to start putting it on my outer corner. The deeper green in the James Charles palette. There's 2 matte green shades and I want the deeper one. I wiped off any excess product and I'm now dragging this out this way as well in hopes that it will look nice. Okay, so I dragged it out that way. Now I'm going to take the light green that's in the palette. I'm gonna blend that into my crease a little bit, like on my lid and into my crease, just to give us those green hints without it being too dark all over. We're going to be covering it up, but just to give us a base to really work with, it's gonna be helpful. So I'm also taking that light green and blending out this way as well into the temple area, just because we want to be dramatic. Cruella is not messing around, okay? Cruella is a bad bee. And Cruella wants what Cruella wants, if you know what I mean. Dogs, she wants dogs, specifically Dalmatians. And if you watched the Cruella movie, now you understand her backstory and why she's like that. So that's the matte shades. Now, I lied when I said I wouldn't go into the Elf and J Kissa palette, because I forgot that I need the green shimmer out of here. So this shade Regan, we are going to, yep, I'm just gonna put it on. It is very, very shiny. We're gonna put that as a base underneath our glitter. So I'm going to put this all over. Everywhere. I want to put on a liner, and I might regret this, but I'm going to do it now instead of waiting until my glitter's on, because I worry that if the glitter's on, it's going to make the glitter fall everywhere. I need my other mirror. So at least we'll have a base of an eyeliner. So I'm taking my Wet n Wild Breakup Proof eyeliner. I'm going to make a nice wing, and then I'll be right back. I can't really stay on camera for this, so I'm sorry. Okay, I did an aggressive wing. I put a little bit into my inner corner. I tried to make like a cat eye shape. We'll get to the lower lash line in a minute, but I do want to put on the glitter. So first, we're gonna start with our NYX glitter glue. I'm only doing one eye right now, so I can do the other one off camera because it takes too long. So we're gonna start with this bit of glitter glue. We're going to put it all over our lid. Gently open this Glitty's glue because Glitty's glitter because it's very dangerous. I am going to pick it up on the brush, and you're going to tap it onto your lid. Okay, now we have a glitter eye. And we have glitter everywhere on our face, which is why we did this first. So I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna get the other eye on and then we'll do the lower lash line together. I do wanna put on lashes, but for the sake of my eyes, I'm probably gonna wait till the end to do that because if I have them on the whole time, because there's a lot of painting I gotta do, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So, I'll be right back with the other eye on, all this glitter off, and then we'll do our concealer and lower lash line. Okay, after much cleanup, I still have glitter all over my face, and that is okay. But we are gonna start on our lower lash line. So, I do want to take a flat detailed brush like this in the dark green, and I am going to put this all on my lower lash line. I should probably use the other mirror so you can actually see what I'm doing. Where this green meets the cat eye inner corner down here, I am blending over top of that with the green shadow just to kind of make it a little bit more green. I'm also blending under my wing with green shadow. So then I'm taking the lighter green and I'm going to buff underneath all of that just to get it nice and blended. And just for an added itty bitty bit of depth, I'm gonna take the dark green out of the Elf and J. Kissa palette. It's called Tank. It's very dark, so I'm going to push that into my lower lashes as tight as humanly possible. Like so far up there. I'm only doing it on the outer third and under the wing on the outside. And then I'm blending it out with this itty bitty little brush. Original brush with the light brown shade on it. Now I'm taking a white eyeliner pencil. This is the Wet n Wild one. I don't know if they still sell this exact one, but it was like $2 probably. And I'm going to put it on my lash line, and then where I created this inner corner over here, I'm also trying to get it in there without blinding myself. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish underneath this eye, and then I'm going to do my base makeup. It's the same as my standard base, and because it's just gonna be a standard primer, standard foundation, and standard concealer, I'll just come back when it's time to contour and we'll talk about that. Okay, it's 10:06 and we just finished our eyes and our base. So, the eyes, now that they're done, they're much more like fierce, which I feel like Cruella would be a fierce bee. As for the base, I made it super matte, even though I used a dewy foundation. I think it kind of works with the whole feel. I did use a brighter concealer than normal, like a shade, 2 shades brighter than I have been based on my skin tone, because I want to be like bright and like aggressive and super highlighted. So now we're going to start contouring our face. This is the KVD Shade and Light palette. I've had it since it wasn't called KVD, you know, probably 2016. But this is the palette I'm gonna be using to contour. I could technically use a cream and then put the powder on top, but for some reason, I just thought that this would be perfect today. So I'm gonna dip into the lightest and the middle shade in this palette. So these two, the ones that I've hit pan on. And when you're contouring, we wanna make our cheekbones extra sharp because Cruella was a sharp bee. So I am just staring straight into the mirror and looking where my hollows are. So my hollows, it goes right about here, and then I'm raising it just barely higher than it normally is to create a new shadow on my face that looks higher and sharper. Now I'm going to jump up to my temple area and contour my forehead area just a little bit, but I'm actually not connecting them down here. Because if I do, I'm gonna get rid of my like super sharp cheekbone as well as my highlighted under eye, and I don't wanna do that. So I'm not connecting them, which normally I connect them. So, trying to change our face shape a little bit today. This is one side contoured, so if you can tell a difference between my cheekbones on both sides as well as my forehead and the way that the highlight works, now that the shadows are brought back into my face and I'm not so one-dimensional, you can really feel the way my face is right up. So we're going to repeat the process on the other side. Another tip that I'll tell you is while I was off camera, I took my bright concealer and I drew a line right under my cheekbone where I knew that the contour was gonna go. You can also do this after you do your contour if you don't exactly know the placement of it. But using that brighter concealer down here is really going to accentuate this contour that we're adding. And yes, it's Halloween. You're allowed to go a little crazy, like it's okay. Especially like with your eyes. I brought my lower lash line color, the green, down like a lot farther than normal, but it's Halloween. You don't have to, like, could I wear this on a normal day if I wanted to? Yeah, it's not that crazy, but at the same time, it's Halloween. Like, you might as well have some fun with it, right? So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now Cruella has a very thin nose. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a flat definer brush with my contour shade, and I'm going to make a very thin line on my nose. So I want my nose to be so small. Okay, so I drew my little line. Then I'm going to take my nose contour brush, which is a pointed crease brush from Profusion, and I'm going to blend that line out. Okay, let me quickly do my brows, like super speedy, nothing crazy. Just gonna fill them in a little bit. Okay, so I kind of lied. I went a little bit more nuts on the eyebrows because I thought it was a little necessary to give me like a sharp point at the top, just kind of like, and bring them down into my eyes a little bit more. I feel like that makes more sense. So, if you wanted to just be a standard Cruella, you could throw on a red lip and be done and do a full outfit. However, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I wanna add rich skin with Dalmatian print coming through. Okay, so I didn't mention this earlier because I didn't want to give it away or I didn't want to lose my ability to give you a little bit of a surprise, but the inspiration for this look came from a post. I found it on Pinterest, and she just has cracks in her skin where Dalmatian is just pouring through, and that's what I'm gonna do. So now I'm going to draw some cracks with my white eyeliner on my skin. I'm going to wipe away the makeup in those locations, and then we are going to paint it white and add the Dalmatian spots. So that's what's happening next. I'm gonna do the eyelashes and the lips at the end, but I just wanted to keep this a little bit of a surprise to the end. Even though if you saw the thumbnail, you know exactly what I'm doing, but that doesn't matter to me. So let's get started. Our first one, I want to do one coming out of my head. So I'm going to draw like a big crack right there. I'm gonna do a crack like in my face here. So now I am going, my battery is gonna die and I have 1 minute left. I'm going to wipe away the foundation in those locations, and I'm going to add white paint into the base. It's just gonna be a white cream paint. Please, for the love of God, stop licking me. It's gonna be a basic white cream paint. You can also use a white cream paint you find at Walmart. You could do a white cream paint, or sorry, a white water activated paint. You could do a white foundation, whatever. It's gonna wipe away your foundation and your makeup in the areas you just drew, and you are going to fill it in with white paint. So I'll be back with a fresh battery and some white on my face. All right, we have our white all over us. So I grabbed, where did the brushes go? Did I leave them in the other room? Maybe I did. I grabbed my water for my water-based paint palette. I am now grabbing a brush. I'm gonna use a tiny brush. I feel like less is more. This is an itty bitty little pointed paint brush. I don't know if I mentioned this last video, but I typically use paint brushes with my water activated paints, and most of the time my cream paints, not makeup brushes, because you're painting, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's open this bad boy up. I'm just gonna wet, obviously, the black, and we're just gonna wing it when it comes to, who decided to send me an email? It is 10:45 at night. Okay, so I did paint the white with the cream paint, and then I took my RCMA no color powder. Any translucent powder that's not like a, it's not like a skin tone finish will work for that. But you do need to set it, because if you don't set your cream paint, it's going to be very sticky and it's going to transfer very easily. So I'm going to start, let's say on this one, and just start making some spot-like shapes. It's a little watery. just gonna draw them randomly. I mean, do I think that Dalmatians have perfect circles? Of course not. So we're not gonna make them perfect. And then we're also gonna go over them. You could not belong somewhere less than on top of this desk right now. So we're just gonna paint our spots now that that's interruption's over. I don't want it to look too much like cow, so I'm trying to round them out a little bit. Just because I don't want it to be like super cow shaped. And then just like little, you know, size differences here and there. Just trying to make it look the most like a Dalmatian that I can. I think I'm gonna round this one out more because that one looks more cow related. Also, I mean, if you're into like gory makeup or bloody makeup, you could always add blood to like the edges of the rips, which would be super interesting, I think. All right, now I think I'm gonna try to show you how I'm going to finish off this whole area right now, rather than doing every single area with the spots. I just kind of want to focus on this one section just so we can kind of explain it, and then I can move on and do the rest, maybe in like a sped up version of this. So that is the brush for the paint. I'm gonna put that back in the water so it doesn't get gross. Now I'm going to take a very detailed pointed brush, if I can find a good one. This pencil brush that I'm wiping all this pink off of. And I'm going to dip it into a black eyeshadow. Now you can see the black. And we're gonna set on top of all the water activated paints. And kind of just diffuse them a little bit. I don't want to, mainly because, I mean, the water activated paints are gonna dry pretty matte, but I do wanna make it look a little, I guess, less perfect. It's like a hair, like blended out, a little messy, you know? Okay, the other thing you need to do, or I need to do, now is I'm going to take this itty bitty little detailed brush. I am going to put black on it, and I am going to shadow all the areas where the white is touching my skin tone. So you need to make shadows to make it look like your skin is actually below it. So I'm going to do that really quick. And then I am going to take this less precise brush, and I'm going to try and blend that out so it looks more like a shadow. Okay, the shadow under there got a little aggressive. I think the white is still a little not set on that edge. Okay, it's not perfect. This area was a little wet still when I, like, not fully set as far as the cream paint goes. When I started blending on top of it, it did start to move some of the cream paint around, which made like this really muddy gray color down here. There is, I think, a way that I might be able to prevent some of that if I take this brush and just go over some of those areas. I think I can probably diffuse what's going on a little bit with a white shadow. It's not going to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. You can't really put white back on top of black, so that's where it does get a little tricky, is if you do blend too much or you blend into the white too far, it is very difficult and nearly impossible to make it white again. So I'm just kind of trying to add more of the white shadow on top, and that's kind of what we're going with. Honestly, from afar, looks cool. I'm not that worried about the fact that it's not like 100% perfect, and I don't think you should be either. We're not professionals here, we're just having fun. I am going to clean up this edge with a hair of concealer, just because I blended outside my line a little bit, and also it'll brighten right next to the line. So I put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm taking the smallest amount and I'm going along the edge. Okay, so that's one rip. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to do the rest of my rips, and I will come back with a red lip, eyelashes, and a full done. I'll probably have my wig on by then. And we'll be ready to give ourselves a little outro. Because this has been a long process, and I need to go to bed at some point. I mean, it's already 10:58. Okay, I gotta go to sleep. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. And that, my friends, is how you turn yourself into Cruella de Vil. Ready for this montage? If only I had a real cigarette. I mean, for somebody who bought this wig last year simply for the Other Mother tutorial and then proceeded to drive to Walmart today so I could buy gray spray paint to spray half of this wig, buy some gloves, buy a wig cap, buy some more lashes, you could say I went all out here. I mean, I even got like a red blazer on simply because I don't have a fur coat. And if I did, you best believe I'd be wearing it right now, but I don't because I'm not an actual Dalmatian hater. I forgot this wig has bangs, so it covers up our cool forehead. These lashes, I purchased this set from Kiss. It was $9. They're so wispy, a curated collection of the best sellers. And there was this pair at the bottom that I almost tried, but these ones are way thicker and more dramatic, which is why I chose them. They're the style Pompadour by Kiss. They are thick, they're dramatic. I would not wear them every day, but they are super comfortable and they were super easy to put on. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, this is my Cruella look where we are accidentally turning into a Dalmatian. So I don't know about you, but I think this is pretty sick. I mean, do I need to go to bed because it's 11:51 and I started this at 8:30? The answer to that is yes. So, I really hope you enjoyed this crazy Cruella look that we did. I'm hoping I'm not getting paint on my blazer. I am, which means now that this is over, I'm gonna just put that down there for a minute so I don't get more paint on it because this blazer is my favorite. Yeah, so happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed our second look of the year this year. I hope it wasn't too much for you. I feel like it was pretty simple. The only thing that you have to do that's not like your standard getting ready, you add some glitter, you add some spots. I mean, if you wanted to be Cruella and you had a full Cruella outfit and you didn't want to add all the Dalmatian stuff, you could honestly just keep it at the green eyeshadow and the red lips. Is it a little bit Christmassy? Of course, but that's Cruella for you, okay? Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you enjoyed this, if you want to see any of my other Halloween looks and or any other makeup that I do throughout the entirety of the year, please feel free to follow me. Hit the subscribe button down below. Like and comment on this video so other people can see it, because the more other people see it and the more you like it, the more YouTube says, oh, I'll tell more people about this. This wig is so itchy, holy crap. Also, if you want to follow me on my other socials, I have Instagram and TikTok. They are both CaitlinJolene_makeup. I am most definitely going to have a TikTok of this look on there. I have decided before I go to bed, I would rather film that than sleep, because why would I want to sleep? That would make no sense. That'd be crazy. I still have to take pictures. I still have to film that. I have to take pictures on my cell phone because I need pictures to post on Instagram, la-di-da-di-da, all of the above. I can't wait. I hope you all had a fantastic week. I hope you all enjoyed this Halloween look, and I can't wait to see you back next week, Friday at 4 p.m. for Halloween look number 3, which is going to be a fun one. So stay tuned, my loves. On that note, I'm gonna go skin some Dalmatians. Just kidding. I love you. And let me get up close so you can see. Like, the Dalmatians look way better from far away. They're not like an up close and personal thing, but I'll give you my like angry eyebrows. This angle. It's really cool with it like dripping down my neck. Cruella, Cruella. Good night.